hear me still, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, this song it's called The Song About Us. And it's about change and thinking bigger than maybe what we're used to. Lately, it seems that the sky is always falling. Just another day, they say we can't go on this way. But skies are meant to change. Sometimes it rains. Oh, yes, it rains. Change is always dangerous 'cause we think in bigger ways. When your heart's well lit, you are a Jedi in this game. If you don't know the way, it's okay, it's okay. I've got this song and we could sing it together. 'Cause this is a song about us. Your search for truth leads to questions but no answers. I've got my notebooks and I follow the signs. The times are meant to change. Sometimes there's pain. Oh yes, there's pain. Change can be rebellious when we think we know the way. But when your heart's well lit, you are a Jedi in this game. If you don't know the way, it's okay, it's okay. I've got this song and we could sing it together. 'Cause this is a song about us. I've got my rose-colored glasses, yes, I'm ready. You've got that compass and the map of the stars. Our lives are meant to change. Sometimes it rains, oh yes, it rains. Change can be contagious when we think in bigger ways. 'Cause when your heart's well lit, you are a Jedi in this game. If you don't know the way, that's okay, that's okay. 'Cause when your soul's well lit, it brings a big light to the game. And it shows us the way. It's okay, it's okay. I've got this song and we can sing it together. 'Cause this is a song about us. Woo! All right. Thank y'all. I felt like I needed to write a song for these times, right? For these times. All right, I gotta scoot my stuff up here a little. Well, it's so good to see everybody. All right. Yeah, we got a big room in here today, don't we? Well, today we are diving even deeper into the 12 powers. Now, the 12 powers, those are the inner gifts we came into this life with. They're in our toolkit, like we already have them. And these 12 powers help us to access and embody and work with our Christ consciousness, the great me, our brightest self. The more we work with these 12 powers, the more resilience we have, and the more we become a soul well lit. So far I've talked about faith, strength, love, wisdom, power, and imagination. And they really give us the foundation to do the big work in this world, especially faith, because faith is our ability to trust what it is that's working through us, for us, as us. It's with faith we can start receiving spiritual truths, and we know God is everywhere present, everywhere that's ever been, and it's everything that's yet to be. And that means us. That means each of us. So with faith, we also gain a greater understanding about what we are capable of, right? Because of what that works through us. Strength helps us to stay the course, even when things get hard, even when things look scary out there. And then there's love, what I like to call big cosmic love, but it's love how Christ loved, by seeing God as everywhere present. And when we see God as everywhere present, we get another little understanding about love. It's a quality of spirit that wants to give itself to us. So when we are in the power of love, it increases the incidences of attraction and unification in our life, things coming together for our highest good. And remember, that highest good, it wants to be created. Okay, we are created to be a channel for God in this world. That spirit activity wants to work right through us and out into our life. Wisdom is the blending of the knowledge from our heart and our head. And then the power of power itself is simply self-mastery over our thoughts and our feelings. Then, of course, we have imagination, which is where the formless takes form. Our imagination is our imaging center. It's just where we create a blueprint for the next experience that we want to create. We imagine how it's going to look. And so today we go into understanding. Understanding. Well, this is a big one, because it's about having the ability to know and perceive and comprehend how things work together, right? How our thoughts and our ideas work together, how we even work together. Now, knowledge and intelligence, we love knowledge and intelligence, but, without understanding, that's just facts and data, right? It's understanding that helps us to put things to work. So as a spiritual being in a body, having a human experience right now, the activity of spirit in this world, we do these certain things to gain understanding about our lives. We ask, we perceive, we receive, we comprehend, and then we make choices. Because now this is how we get understanding. Wisdom is intuitive knowing, but it's not putting any of the pieces together. Now, I intuitively knew, like with wisdom, I knew I needed to increase my own resilience. Y'all have heard me talking about it for like a couple of months now, because I'm kind of obsessed with it, with everything that's going on and how important resilience is. So intuitively, I knew that, but I didn't know why. Okay. Understanding then is when we put the pieces together. Now, I had been hearing about resilience from my favorite author, Greg Braden, and from the HeartMath Institute. And this is a source I highly respect, and I encourage you to check out the HeartMath Institute for yourself. But I was watching some videos and reading some information, and I didn't learn about resilience, but I learned about what happens with a lack of resilience. When we don't have resilience, that leads to exhaustion and overwhelm, anxiety, depression. It aggravates PTSD, and it can activate, you're getting ready to learn a new term here, folks, probably, because I think it was invented for the pandemic. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't. This isn't invented just now, but there is something that's called pre-traumatic stress syndrome. It's experiencing stress and trauma over something that may or may not happen, but we still experience the stress and trauma. So I had an epiphany. Like, wow, I was going down that rabbit hole. And so I decided, okay, I really, really do need to get resilience. I need to figure this out. Wisdom is knowing, understanding is knowing why. So we can do things to get understanding. Okay, we start off, we just ask. We ask and you'll receive, right? So I asked, like for myself, I asked, why am I obsessed with resilience? What is it about resilience I need to know? Okay, and then we perceive. Now, that's where having awareness of our environment. Now, for me, things kept popping up like in my email list, or I'd get videos come through social media, all on resilience and people talking about resilience. Like all of a sudden, it's a thing. Everybody is really concerned with having resilience right now. So we ask, we perceive, and then we receive, right? What did what we just noticed tell us? What did that just tell us? And that's where we comprehend it, right? I got an understanding of resilience and the lack of it. And then I knew I had to work on it myself. So we comprehend it, but then we also make a choice to do something with it. Now, I decided if I was going to work hard on getting my own self more resilient, that I may as well drag y'all with me too. And that's why I created the 40-day online challenge. Like, and it's still, you can still find it on our website. If you're late, you're late. That's okay. But we're all working at our own pace. All right. So I had understanding, and my understanding came through as just recognizing helpful ideas. And then I chose to put those to work. The center for understanding in our body is in the front of our brain. So it's like really close to the third eye, which I think the third eye might be more in the pineal gland. So maybe understanding is right in front of that. Thank you, Taylor. I see you nodding. I was hoping you would nod. Thank you. Okay. The disciple for the to represent understanding out of the 12 disciples is Thomas. And you might know him as Doubting Thomas. You know, he's called Doubting Thomas because there's this one thing, right? Jesus was resurrected from the dead. He comes walking into this house with his friends and everybody's like, you arose. You're the risen Jesus. Thomas is like, what? This doesn't make sense. How can you be here? You're dead. Jesus actually had to invite Thomas to come and examine the wound in his side. When Thomas could look at the wounds and he touched the wounds, then he was able to put it together. And then he was able to get understanding. You know, kids do this. Sometimes we'll tell children, okay, don't do this thing. And they'll do it anyway. And they'll be like, well, why? I don't get it. I want to do this. Will you explain why? And then they're like, oh, well, you should have just told me that, Mom. Right? I think Adam's probably sitting behind, his screen going, yeah. Let them know why. Give them the information. So kids do this. Thomas did this. Thomas questioned what he saw. He questioned what did not make sense. Now, at first, we're looking at a world right now that's not making sense. Okay, there's some things that are so off. We're looking at them and we're like, this can't be happening. Okay, like when the pandemic first hit, I was kind of like, what? No, this only happens in olden days or in other countries, right? This can't be happening. Okay, what about the behavior of our politicians? Like people we've been following for years and years doing things that don't make sense to us. So right now, we are in a time right now where it's really hard to comprehend these crazy, and some of them are really bad, things that are happening. So if we want understanding about what's happening right now in our lives, we do what Thomas did. Okay, remember Thomas asked, he says, I don't get this. This can't be. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it. Right? So we ask a question. We ask the universe, what is really going on here? Come on, show me. I'm ready. ready to have that open mind. Show me what's going on here. Then we trust our guidance. Okay, we ask, we receive, we perceive, and we comprehend. Then we make the choice based on our understanding. So when we have understanding, we can put the pieces together, and then we make our next decision, our next choice, our next step forward is made with faith. When we take a step with faith, we go in the right direction. We're going in the direction that best serves us. Now, the character from the Harry Potter series that represents this power of understanding, if I had a drum, I'd do a drum roll here. Miss Hermione Granger. Miss Hermione Granger. You know, Hermione was a brilliant student. She started at Hogwarts the same time that Harry and Ron did. Brilliant student. She excelled. In fact, when she got accepted into Hogwarts, she was so excited. She got all of the required books, but she also got above and beyond that, so she could read and learn as much as she possibly could. But see, Hermione was attending Hogwarts with being concerned she wouldn't be accepted. She was worried about fitting in. So she thought, well, if she was the smartest kid, if she knew all of this stuff, that was something she could control. And so she was hoping that would make everybody like her. But she even drove her teachers nuts, right? One of her professors, Professor Snape, called her an insufferable know-it-all, right? It's not very nice. But she just felt she always had to prove herself. Now, one day she heard Harry and Ron talking, and she was trying to be friends with them. But she was very annoying around them, and she overheard Ron talk about how annoying she was. She had her feelings hurt, and she just ran off crying. Now, later on into the story, not too far into the story, actually, Ron and Harry, they know that Hermione's off somewhere feeling really bad. But then they find out this troll has been set loose in the castle. And so they're supposed to all go back to their dorms. But Ron and Harry, they think Hermione doesn't know about this. So they go to find Hermione. Okay, and they go to this unused girls' bathroom. It turns out the troll is in the bathroom, so is Hermione, and the troll is already going after Hermione. The boys bust in there, they take down the troll, they rescue Hermione, and then their teachers show up. Now, the teachers, of course, were glad that they were all okay, but they were also mad. They're like, Ron and Harry, you keep getting into trouble. You weren't even supposed to be here. Now, Hermione ended up having a transformational moment that she understood it's not enough to just have all the facts and data to show off how smart you are so that people will like you. To have friends, you have to go above and beyond that. To have friends, you have to be authentic. You have to be real. And Ron and Harry had just risked their own lives to save her. So now Hermione, she got it. She put it together and she got it. And she said to her teachers, oh no, it wasn't their fault. This was all my fault. I came down here looking for the troll because I was sure I could subdue it. The boys came after me to tell me it was wrong and that I was supposed to go back to my room. Okay, so the teachers just let all the kids off with a warning because, you know, Hermione never got in any trouble. And in that moment, a lifetime friendship was born. Now, through the entire series, it's always Hermione that she sees these riddles are laid out. And in particular, in book 1 and 3, they face a riddle together. Harry scratches his head. He's like, I don't know what this is. Hermione gets it. She's able to put everything together to get that greater understanding, the greater awareness. This is something that happens with understanding as we get greater awareness. So she put it all together. She put it all together. When we are not putting things together, and right now there is a lot right? There's so much that we're trying to put together. And we are actually at the we're at the peak of a cycle of conflict, which has to do with the Earth's magnetic field being really weak right now. So we're not as protected. And our heart's magnetic field is usually in alignment with the Earth's magnetic field. But with the planet's magnetic field being weaker, we are affected by a lot more stuff. Now, this is sciencey stuff, and you can further Google that. But it makes people like feel like a raw nerve right now. Okay. People easily are getting out of alignment with their centered self. People are easily reacting with anger to situations instead of acting consciously. And overall, we are collectively experiencing a crisis in thinking. Now, in the Harry Potter stories, this is kind of what they were going through. No one wanted to believe that the evil Voldemort could possibly come back to power. Voldemort is the evil character, and he's in all 7 stories, basically. But no one wants to believe this. At first, they're just like, it's like, don't even speak his name. You call him he who shall not be named. You don't say Voldemort, right? You say he who shall not be named. They just ignored it. They didn't want to think about it because it was one of those things like, this can't be happening again, right? Not again, right? Something happened to Voldemort 11 years ago. He can't be back now. We haven't seen him for 11 years. Even when Harry saw him in book 1, and then in book 2, and then in book 3, book 4, nobody wanted to believe him. Nobody wanted to believe him because that truth, it was too big to face. It was too scary. So the people in general withdrew in fear. They didn't want to look at it. This is when their businesses started failing, right? They were shutting down. By the 6th book, you see that businesses in the wizarding world are closing down. And they became more worried about what their neighbor was doing. It's kind of uncanny that right now we are being bombarded with confusing issues like this too, right? Like, what is the truth? What is the truth? We know what our conditioning tells us, right? But when we are not putting things together, right, we can't look around with an open mind, right? We can't look at anything happening in our country right now with an open mind if we're not putting things together, if we're not willing to ask, right? Like, I know I have an open mind, or if I don't have an open mind, am I willing to examine a favored politician the same way I examine a politician I don't like? Like, am I willing to do that? Not always. Not always. How are we putting things together right now? Right? We may not be understanding right now where we most need to shine our light if we're not able to put things together, if we're not able to ask the question, what's going on here? I don't get this. This doesn't make any sense. What's going on? Show me. Show me, universe. I am ready. If we can't ask and receive, we may end up getting mired in and crushed by what's going on. We may end up feeling hopeless because it's so hard to walk in faith when we can't ask those questions. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, and this is such a powerful statement because he's describing a soul well lit. He's describing a Jedi in this world. I hope it's okay I'm mixing Harry Potter and Star Wars. Anyway, maybe we can get the Matrix in here too in a few minutes. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Great hearts steadily send forth the secret forces that incessantly draw great events." Great hearts. That's us and our Christ consciousness, our great me, our brightest self, our centered self. It's when we are doing our very best and living in integrity with our soul. We're not making assumptions. We're not taking things personally. We're being impeccable with our word. We're walking by faith and not by sight. Great hearts, steadily. This is with commitment and with devotion. Great hearts steadily send forth secret forces. Those secret forces are the activity of God in this world, right? How the givingness of spirit, that we are created to be a channel for that. And it's continually giving itself to us, through us, for us, as us, to continue its expression out into the world. It wants to create more good through us. So great hearts steadily send forth those secret forces that incessantly, without interruption, draw great events. This is attracting more good, creating more good. So we start with faith. We start with faith, remembering what it is that works through us, because this is where we're really learning what we are capable of, because we trust what works through us, for us, as us. You know, the Unity Worldwide, their affirmation for understanding is, my understanding of truth deepens and directs my life. My understanding of truth deepens and directs my life. Truth is, this is spiritual truth. God is everywhere present, everywhere that's ever been, working through each of us. When we focus on the presence of God, we call forth solutions. It's not about staring down the scary conditions. Our understanding of truth deepens and directs our life. Understanding gives us direction. And then with faith, you know, with faith, when we make a choice, we go in one direction. But without faith, if we're choosing from fear, we go in another direction. With strength, we are able to stand in our faith, even when everything out there looks really scary. Without strength, our faith may falter. We may end up steering toward fear again. Love, wisdom, power, imagination, they help us make those choices that create greater joy in our lives. Open opportunities for us, guide us to opportunities, allow us to serve in ways that serve the greater good, but also fulfill us. And then with understanding, well, those crazy, scary conditions then can't bring us down, because with understanding, again, we're a Jedi in our own life. With understanding, it's like, what's going on? This doesn't make sense. I want some clarity here. I'm ready for some clarity, right? With understanding, we see what's going on and we put it all together. We comprehend and we choose from faith. We choose from faith, not fear. We choose from faith. And that is how we create heaven on earth. So until next time, remember, you are the activity of spirit in a body. You are the heart and hands of spirit in this world. You are a soul designed for growth and goodness. See, you're designed to do all this. You're designed to go through all this. Open doors, find opportunities, call for solutions. You are designed to be here right now and shine your light for so many people right now who are searching for light. In everything you do, you are blessed. And